Left, it's going to be the Palace of Culture and Science. And the Palace of Culture and Science is having two titles right now. The first title that it holds is that it is the symbol of Warsaw. The second place, second title I mean, of that structure is that it is the unwanted gift from the great Mother Russia. Let's say, given a gift that we've paid for without having anything to say about the shape of its design. So this is why it's a bit of an unwanted one. So, what is the schedule of our sightseeing route? We're going to visit three main places in the city, which the first place is going to be the Royal Lazienki Park, and that is a place that is one of the most peaceful and most pleasant places to see in that city. The second place, after a visit in the park, will be going towards the Jewish ghetto part of Warsaw. So the Jewish ghetto part of the city is maybe not really having a very pleasant story, but altogether, as you are in a place that there was the biggest Jewish ghetto created that was ever existing, then I believe it's just a very fruitful idea to take a look at that place. The place after the Jewish ghetto, it is of course going to be the Old Town territory, which the Old Town is a place that every single person is coming to visit, and it is a main touristic spot, you may say. You're having all the most important, most recognizable Polish restaurants set out there, and of course the places like souvenir shops and let's say galleries with some typical Polish goods. During the war, this city suffers a lot. And when I'm saying this, I'm meaning that 86% of buildings are completely not usable after the year of 1945. And we are right now driving throughout a place which is quite unique for that city, as these buildings that are to the left and right sides of yours, these are the original examples of buildings that are were being here all around the place, visible if you were to imagine that Second World War had never happened. And right now the question appears, what is so special about that place that it was not destroyed, that it has survived? And the reason is that the Nazi officers were having their headquarters set in here. Then, to the right side of yours, that is the only modern structure in that street. Could you tell which country embassy was that? So, the United States of America. Yes, indeed. The thing is that... So you're having the flag of the European Union and the Polish one waving just in front of it. And altogether, as you can see that the whole place is guarded by the soldiers, then that means that this is something extraordinary, something very important. So this was the Embassy of Russia, and one thing which is very interesting is that the very next property, the next structure as well, the yellow one to the left in here, that is the Polish Ministry of Defense. So looking from a perspective of Polish history, that is indeed quite funny that these two facilities are located right next to each other. Then to the right, just for another time, the place where the President of Poland is living. It's called as the Belvedere, and there is always a Polish flag waving on the top. And previously, before the Polish pianist and composer that was so far ever born within these lands, and of course I'm speaking about Frédéric Chopin. And so to start with something, I would like to give you the interpretation of that mantra. And so Frédéric Chopin is having a very characteristic gesture with his fingers, just as if he's playing the piano. So Frédéric Chopin's hand, then his head is turned to the left, and his eyes closed. So that means that he is concentrating to play the tunes in a perfect way. And then another information is that everything in the sculpture is presented while a very strong wind is blowing. So you can see that Frédéric Chopin's robe is having these marks of waves, that his hair is put into one direction as well. And the key thing is that the tree that Frédéric is sitting under, because that is the tree, it's called as the weeping willow additionally.
Still very peaceful and very
Then that is a place that is going to be out of use. And then after the summer residence is already erected, then we are having that place turned into a guest house. The fact that the king was really fascinated with the culture of Orient, actually he was very fascinated with everything that was connected with fashion, trends, and culture in a very wide range of perceiving that way. So altogether, China was the second biggest country, except from the US. Very precise that all the lanterns are supposed to go without even 1 centimeter of anomaly. So this is, let's say, the Polish interpretation, because so everything what you see is designed and created as a request of the king. Which I'm speaking about the palace, about the island that the palace is standing on, about the lake which is in front, as well as the one which is at the back. Then you're having an amphitheater out there straight ahead. And the amphitheaters were usually built in the mountains. And here we do not have them. We have a piece of flat land in here. So we were in need of, let's say, creating something additional, which is that you're having a regular stage set on the island, on another artificial island, and you have the audience set on the mainland. In between the stage and the mainland, in between the stage and the audience, you're having a narrow strip of water, which the surface of this water reflects the waves of sound. Yeah, I was just expecting. Yeah, exactly. Just waiting for boom. But coming back to the
Chodzą na palutkach cicho, cicho.
structure to the left, this is the Ujazdowski Castle, and that is a place that was used as a temporary headquarters of the Polish kings just when the capital city was moved from Krakow to Warsaw. So you're going to take a look at the Polish House of Parliament here, the one which is having a round roof, a round shape, and there is a Polish flag on the top. So we are having lower chamber and the upper chamber, but before I'll tell you who's working there. When something goes really wrong inside, then due to the shape of the structure, we're saying that this is our Polish circus and that we are having really well-trained clowns, the clowns employed. But of course it's something that is not such jokes, maybe not exactly the ones, but similar with the meaning. We are having the P and W letters visible. The P and W which are combined into one symbol. So P letter stands for Poland and W stands for fighting or for war. War here. The second type These are of course such buildings like to the right side of yours. You're sure you're seeing the Sheraton Hotel, the regular modern style architecture, and as well we are right now going throughout the roundabout of Charles de Gaulle. So Charles de Gaulle was a very big supporter of this Polish independence case, and due to this he was just having this roundabout called after his name. It is the most representative one in a city. If you'll take a look to the right, you're having the monument of Nikolai Copernicus, and Copernicus is the most recognizable Polish astronomer. Very, very nice conducted in here. It's going to be law, psychology, philosophy, and history. It's 1 out of 5 large, and just attached to the Bristol we are having the Presidential Palace visible. The Presidential Palace is a place where the Polish president is working. There is a Polish flag waving on the top, white and red colors. It includes white symbolizes something pure and innocent, while red symbolizes a love to your home place or blood that was given to defend its borders. So just in one moment you're going to have a great number of colorful houses visible to your right. That is already going to be the Old Town territory. The Old Town is a place that we will be visiting just after our visit in a ghetto. So just right now we're going to skip the Old Town, and after a visit in the Jewish part, the Jewish section of the city, we're going to come back into this place to have a walk throughout its territory.
The story about the ghetto in Warsaw. How was it organized from, let's say, the very beginning, how it was, and what was...
So the one to the left is 17 and the one to the right is 19 years old. So these are not regular macho men, these are just youngsters, these are not regular soldiers. Then the top part of the monument presents a woman, she's holding a child, and in the background you're having flames or smoke presented, and then to the bottom you're having an older guy who's preparing for a fight, and then you're having a dead man lying under their feet. So the symbolical meaning of this monument is such: it doesn't matter if you are a boy or a girl, it does not matter if you are 20, 40, 60 or 80 years old. It does not matter if you are a carpenter, a lawyer, a rocket scientist, or a plumber. If you are a Jew and you live in a ghetto, then you need to face the same fate that everyone does, and this fate is death from the Nazi hands.
Yellow and red colors. If you'll take a look to the right side of yours, you're having a tram going. It's painted in yellow and red. If you're going to notice any kind of bus, if you'll take a look at the buses, then they're going to have yellow and red colors visible as well. Alright, we have reached the Old Town. Right now I would like us to get outside from the coach. I would like us to go for a walk throughout the place, and I would like to tell you a few words about the oldest part of Warsaw. This is the St. Anne's Church to the right, one of the most lovely churches to visit.
Normally I'm having at least one asking at the park. And Colonia.
All of you together. So, in that case, you're having one very easy way from the Old Town. If you would like to, if, for instance, you're hesitating, shall I stay or shall I go? But if I'll stay, then how will I come back? So, an answer, very easy way of coming back to your place is such. Just along with that street side of yours, you're having defensive walls.
every single thing that you see here, everything, is not older than 60. This is what you get here. And even though we have everything rebuilt in such way, so you cannot tell what is the original and what is reconstruction, then my hint is just simply to you, so you can have your own opinion established, because we didn't know. I believe you do not really need me to comment that's what you see here. So, briefly, because these guys in here, all the works are, and it's not going to be supporting. So, we are having the old market square here, that thing what you see to your right. And then, if I were to point out a place that we are standing, then this is exactly the one here. So, we have the situation that every single thing in here that you see is almost fully destroyed during the war. It is over 90% of the old town that is not usable anymore.
At the Marriott Hotel here in Warsaw, Poland. This is a corner suite.